It's the morning after a major announcement.
Tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
From Donald Trump. The results from a governor's race.
Arizonans chose solving our problems over conspiracy theories.
That involved an election denier. And the latest from the moon mission called Project Artemis.
For what we saw tonight, it's an A+.
These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Julian Davis.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Today is Wednesday, November 16th, 2022.
Live from the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
You can call him Candidate Trump, the former president at his home in South Florida, announcing his third presidential run. 7 years ago, he was coming down a golden elevator at Trump Tower. Last night, he was at Mar-a-Lago. As
CNN's Kristen Holmes reports, it's setting up a possible showdown with allies from his past, such as Mike Pence and Ron DeSantis.
America's comeback starts right now.
Former President Donald Trump announcing another bid for the presidency.
2 years ago, we were a great nation, and soon we will be a great nation again.
The twice impeached former president is aiming to be only the second commander-in-chief ever elected to 2 non-consecutive terms. Trump making the long-anticipated announcement in the wake of election losses from several of his endorsed candidates.
Much criticism is being placed on the fact that the Republican Party should have done better, and frankly, much of this blame is correct. But the citizens of our country have not yet realized the full extent and gravity of the pain our nation is going through, and the total effect of the suffering is just starting to take hold. They don't quite feel it yet, but they will very soon.
Given the GOP's midterm losses, some Republicans are wary of another Trump presidential bid. It is widely expected he'll face primary challengers. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is seen as one possible contender to challenge the former president.
We just tell people to go check out the scoreboard from last Tuesday night. It was a hugely underwhelming, disappointing performance.
Another potential contender is his former vice president, Mike Pence.
I think we'll have better choices in the future.
President Biden, who has yet to announce whether he will seek re-election, tweeted after the announcement, quote, "Donald Trump failed America."
I believe I can beat Donald Trump again.
Trump's desire to announce his campaign early coming after the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, which advisors say further emboldened his decision to mount what he believes will be a triumphant political comeback. Trump is the subject of a bevy of lawsuits and federal investigations, including his possible involvement in the January 6th Capitol attack. Trump is fighting a subpoena issued by the House Select Committee investigating January 6th over providing documents and testimony to the committee.
That was CNN's Kristen Holmes reporting. Few Republican lawmakers were present to last night's speech, many choosing to remain in Washington.
Another win for Democrats this morning as Arizona Katie Hobbs declares victory in the state gubernatorial race. The current Secretary of State has defeated Republican candidate Kari Lake after the final votes were counted. Katie Hobbs gave her victory speech at a rally in Arizona last night.
In this election, Arizonans chose solving our problems over conspiracy theories. We chose sanity over chaos. And we chose unity over division.
Governor-elect Hobbs will soon replace 2-term Republican Governor Doug Ducey. Kari Lake is a prominent defender of Donald Trump's claim that the 2020 election was rigged. She has yet to concede.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has been challenged for his position by a lawmaker from our state. Florida Senator Rick Scott has told colleagues that he will be challenging McConnell for Senate leadership next year, although he would be the first real competitor McConnell has faced since he started as GOP leader. Scott is expected to have a small chance of succeeding. Senate Republicans are expected to hold leadership elections on Wednesday.
Disney World admission rates are about to skyrocket. Beginning December 8th, the Florida theme park announced that prices will soon rise for the first time since 2019. Magic Kingdom will be the most expensive out of the 4 theme parks. Pricing for each park and hopper tickets will vary depending on the date. Annual passes are also expected to rise.
There's something different about a kind of snake that was recently found in Florida.
That's ahead, and so is this story.
I'm telling you, we've never seen such a tail of flame.
Officials at NASA explain why they're over the moon about today's early morning launch. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
How prepared is your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Moon mission, fans of NASA grabbing a seat for a chance to watch history. They were along Florida's Space Coast early this morning to watch Artemis 1 blast off.
But as the network's Anya Joseph reports, the mission is only beginning.
The day has finally arrived, and the third time is the charm. NASA has launched Artemis 1 to the moon.
3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1.
The spacecraft took off uncrewed from Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 1:47 a.m. this morning. The mission's goal is to eventually be able to take humans to the moon for the first time in more than 50 years. But just like all projects, this one has had its issues. The first 2 launch attempts did not follow through due to problems with a faulty temperature sensor and a liquid hydrogen leak. Weather has also played a part in forcing crews to postpone the launch. But it has been a long road for the Artemis 1 launch, and last night's success is a major milestone for NASA.
I'm telling you, we've never seen such a tail of flame. There were a bunch there that would like to be on that rocket. And I have to say, for what we saw tonight, it's an A+.
Flying without astronauts was to test the launch as it heads deep into space for a 25-day journey. The rocket is now officially the most powerful to reach the Earth's orbit, but it will take several days for it to reach its furthest point, which is about 40,000 miles beyond the moon.
Looking forward to see what data gets collected when Artemis 1 returns. The capsule is set to journey back to Earth and land on the Pacific Ocean on December 11th. In the Control Center, I'm Anya Joseph, South Florida Media Network.
A highly unusual rattlesnake has been found in Florida. According to Florida Wildlife Commission, 4 men spotted this baby eastern diamondback rattlesnake in Taylor County last month. Eastern diamondbacks, even juveniles, are mainly brown with large dark diamonds and cream borders. However, as you can see, this snake is completely cream covered with light diamonds. In a Facebook post, FWC's Fish and Wildlife Research Institute described the juvenile rattlesnake as amelanistic, meaning it lacks pigment. Researchers said due to the extremely light coloring of the snake, it lacks the ability to completely camouflage, which makes it susceptible to predators.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
And I'm Julian Davis. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.